What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be showcasing my Uber Summoning Druid for Diablo 2, and this is the Path of Diablo mod. Let's turn chat off. Thank you. And I don't know why I always have chat on, it's annoying. Yeah, this is the Uber Summoning Druid. At the end of this video, I have a little tiny clip of me doing an Uber. I managed to get this torch yesterday. I did 2 Ubers with this character, so it's definitely possible. And for some reason, I forgot to record them. I don't know why. I managed to get a little clip of me recording the last little bit of me killing Uber Baal. So I'll add that at the end of the video if you guys want to see me doing that. But as always, I'm going to show you guys a little bit of gameplay. This build can also be used for much more than Ubers. So I will show you guys real quick an Haltac run. Once again, this is going to be a pre-casting build. So we're going to swap to our offhand just to get the most skills we possibly can. And we're going to run 2 bears, 3 wolves, or 3 dyers, 7 wolves, Hodo, Heart of the Oak, and Wolverine. And we'll go to Halls of Pain really quick. This is going to be one of the safest builds to do Ubers with. I didn't use a single potion. The only potions I do use are to keep my Mercenary alive. And as you can see, we can also teleport really quickly here. And if you memorize the patterns for Haltac, it might be that one. Let's check this one. Yep, it's going to be this one over here. If you memorize the patterns on how to do Haltac, it is pretty easy. You get him every time and walk straight here like I just did. If you guys are interested in a pathfinding video, let me know. Haltac's super easy. Finding Baal or Baal is super easy. And just like that, we got a, what is that, a Sureshire Frost? Shield Frost. But yeah, you do more than enough damage. It's very safe. No issues whatsoever. You just teleport and then AFK for 10 seconds while your minions... Oop, I have to hit W. That would help a lot. Forgot to switch off of my pre-buff gear. That's annoying. But as you can see, everything dies relatively quickly. It's not the fastest build, but it is incredibly safe and super AFK-able ability. Alright, and that's just kind of a brief example of what this thing can do. You can do chaos. You can do pretty much anything that you really want. It's just whether or not you can do it faster with another character. You can definitely do cows. I usually run Trav, Nith, and then Shank. Great class to get a ton of gold with. Just teleport into everything, watch everything die. And then if you need to move your mobs, you can just teleport on them. Telestomp. And just like that. Take all the gold. And we will hop right into our skills and gears. Let's go to Act 1 really quick. Alright, and we will do our... Let's start with skills this time. I like to mix it up a little bit. Alright, so like I said, this is going to be a full summoning build. So therefore, all summons, obviously. And this is the order that I like to max them in. So we went 20 Summon Grizzly, 20 Dire Wolf, and then I went 20 Oak Sage, and then lastly we are working on maxing Summon Spirit Wolf. So this isn't completely maxed out, but all my remaining points are going into this. Alright. The only other thing that is going to be maxed is going to be our Flame Dash, and that is to reduce the cooldown. If you're using this as a purely summoner, or I'm sorry, a purely Uber summon build, you do not need to max Flame Dash. Maxing Flame Dash and Uber does nothing. It's just that you can do more than that if you want to run it in maps, or you want to run it in like Haltac, like I just did there. The Flame Dash is very nice. So max Flame Dash, max. If you don't want to max Flame Dash, dump everything else in a Heart of Wolverine. That's going to give you the damage and attack rating. That'll be super nice for you. Right now, I only have 1 point into Wolverine. And then shapeshifting, we have nothing. And that's it for the skills of this build. It's super simple. All summoner build, max everything in summoning. Stats. My stats are going to be a little wonky here. But it's going to be 156 strength that you're going to need to rock the storm shield. You can strength bug it if you wish. Just keep in mind that on your swap, you're also using a spirit. So I would go 156 base. Dexterity. I was kind of attempting to go for max block, and then I decided it's probably not super necessary to have max block. Like I said, I didn't even drink a potion in Ubers. You're not going to be getting hit. Max block is probably a waste of time. I pumped a little bit into it. You can pump it all into vitality if you want. So if you want, you can go for max block with the storm shield. Otherwise, just put everything into vitality and don't worry about max block. And of course, nothing in energy. 156, either max or nothing, and then everything else in vitality, okay? And on to gear. This is the fun part. So right now I am currently set up in a magic finding setup. I have 153 magic find at the moment. I could have more if I had like war trads or something. But yeah, 153 at the moment, so that's not too bad. You can easily get to 200, 250 without sacrificing any damage or DPS. But we'll start off at the top here. I'm running a 1-socketed Shaco. 2-socketed would be preferred, obviously. When I go into my Ubers, I wear the Jalal's main. This is great because it's giving you, still getting the +2 skills that the Shaco gives, but you're getting 20 additional strength, and you're getting 45 all res, and the faster hit recovery is nice too if you do manage to get socked. Alright, so you can run the Jalals. In the chest, this armor right here, Rain, is mandatory. This is going to give you +2 skills for summoning, and it's also going to allow you to summon 2 bears, which is going to be huge. The largest portion of your damage is actually coming from the bears themselves, and everything else is just going to kind of be cannon fodder, to be honest. A lot of people also run a Treachery for a pre-buff, so they'll go stand in the fires outside of Chaos, which is, I'll show you guys, we'll take that off. You can stand in this fire right here, and you just stand in it until you get your Treachery fade. I didn't do it, wasn't necessary. With all my gear on, I have max res, so when I'm in Uber Chaos, I'm running this, and that probably. My lightning is going to be overcapped. There's no need for fade, to be honest. I didn't find it at all useful. You're not getting hit. It's not necessary in my opinion, but if you want to, you most certainly can do that. Next up, we have our belt. So for pre-buffing, I'm using an ARAC, which is actually on my other character right now. I didn't bring it. I forgot it. Sorry. But use an ARAC for the pre-buff, and then when you're killing Mephisto, you're obviously going to put on the T-Gods, and then when you're killing Diablo and Baal, throw on the String of Ears for the damage reduction. When you're just magic finding, you could also use Verdungos, you could use a gold wrap, you could use whatever you want for the magic find. Like I said, you can use a towel belt, doesn't matter. But when you're doing Ubers, obviously use the T-Gods and the String of Ears. Boots. Right now, normally I run Natalia's. 40 faster run walk, you get the double res. When I'm killing Uber Andy or Lilith, I do run the Trex, because the Trex are going to give me 52 poison res. Still a little bit of run walk speed as well, which is nice. Or if you're also running like T1 maps, use the Sandstorm Trex just to get that poison res up. But other than that, it doesn't really matter. Like I said, you can also run War Travs, you can run Eldurs if you need the fire res. Not a critical, kind of just filling in whatever you need here. Like I said, I like the Nats. You're going to be overstacking your lightning res, and you get the 40 run walk on it. Next up, gloves. Currently, for the magic finding portion, I am running a terrible pair of Chanseys. These are only 30. I think max is 40. But yeah, I run the Chanseys. When I'm in Uber, I will run Laying of Hands for the 250% extra damage to demons. This one's a 231. I need to grab my other one off my assassin. And also give 50 fire res as well, so you're overcapping your fire res, which is nice. Amulets. When I pre-buff, I run a +3 summoning amulet. You should probably slam this and try to get a +1 on it. for a total of +4 skills. And then after I pre-buff, I'm swapping out with my CNC Maras. If you got a +3 on this, then you wouldn't have to use this, or unless you had a +4 to get that extra skill ability. But yeah, so that's what I do. Swap out, summon all this with that, and then swap out with your Maras. Ring 1, I'm using a Raven Frost, just for the cannot be frozen. And the Cold Absorb against Duriel, that helps a ton. And BK Wedding Ring for pre-buff. And then when I'm fighting Diablo, I use the Dwarf Star for the Fire Absorb, just to help some of that beaming action. It also gives you the magic damage reduced by 13, which is great. So keep that in mind. And then you can also run Wisp as well for Meph if you need. Also the damage buff alone from Meph would be great too. But I don't have a Wisp, so that sucks. Weapons. I am currently running Beast. You're probably going to need to have this. I've seen people say they've done it without it. But I didn't really want to attempt Ubers without having the Beast. It's giving you the fanaticism, whatever it's called. I think it's fanaticism. Aura, that's going to give them the attack rating to make sure that they're hitting those guys every time. Everything else doesn't really apply to you because you're not going to be actually swinging it. You're only using it for the aura itself. It doesn't give plus skills or anything like that. You can also use it to go into the werebear form if you wanted to. The only problem with that is you can't teleport or summon additional mobs when you're in the werebear form. So I choose not to. I just kind of stand around and look pretty, which you guys will see at the end of the video if you watch me killing Uber Bale. In the offhand, I'm using a Storm Shield. Like I said, this is probably a little bit overkill. You don't get hit, but the all res are nice in it, so that's up to you guys. If you want to use a Storm Shield, you can. You can also just use a Spirit if you really wanted to, which is what I use in my offhand. So I've got my Hodo here for the +3. Makes it so I can cast my mobs nice and quick, and I'm not sitting here. For example, if I'm doing it here, see how slow it is. So it's nice to have a little bit of FCR just to get your guys casted up. But you're only really going to be using this for a pre-buff, and then the Spirit, obviously. FCR doesn't matter on it. You're not running it for that at all. And I think that's basically it. And as far as inventory goes, guys, I am currently rocking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Summoning Grand Charms. These are pretty cheap to get. I actually only paid like 1 Ook for this one. Most of the other ones I paid a pull for. Got some all res, a couple lifers. Still wearing a Geeds. Best in slot would be you're gonna want all Summoning Grand Charms, so I can still get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now 4 additional, 4 more Summoning Grand Charms. And then a torch, and then obviously an Annie would be perfect. This was the torch that I actually got from the Ubers. It's 1120, and then the second Ubers I got, it was a 1517 Necro. So unfortunately, not ideal for this character. I would want a Druid one, obviously. But I'm going to throw this on my Assassin. It should help her out a little bit. And then I'm trying to sell the Necro torch for a Druid torch, so we'll see how that goes. But you're going to be doing this for Ubers. I like to go Act 5. That's going to give you the Decrepify and allow, basically allow them to do damage if they're physical immune. It's going to break all the physical immunities on them. Basically, you're going to need something to break those physical immunes, so not really using them for damage per se. You're doing more than enough damage. The other thing that's nice about Lawbring is it does give an extra 7% life stolen, so that'll help him stay alive. Sanctuary Aura is kind of meh, whatever. And then I am running a 3-socketed Shaft Stop armor, and I have 15% IAS jewels in it to hit the break point of 75 to make him swing a little bit faster. So I've got 315 IAS jewels in this guy here, and then in my Talhelm I have 2 IAS jewels for 30% attack speed, as well as one of those jewels was a melee splash. So he's got a total of 17% lifesteal per hit, and he is max breakpoint swing speed, so he's pretty good. And as you guys can see, I'm only level 85, so another 5 levels into my wolves will definitely help. You can see these guys bonus from each other. So every point that I put in here does quite a bit more damage. But mostly these wolves themselves, they die pretty quick, so they're mostly just cannon fodder to keep stuff away from you, right? Alright guys, that is basically it. I think it's going to be one of our quicker videos, but it's a super simple build. But like I said, stick around at the end of this video, and I'm going to throw in that Ubers. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It helps me out a ton. You can also hit like if you like this build guide. Please comment down below any other builds that you want to see. I've got a couple builds coming up on the horizon, but unfortunately, due to a incident, I lost a lot of gear yesterday. I lost my ARAC, one of my ARACs. We lost an Enigma. Oh god, we lost a bunch of stuff. We lost a Hodo, a Shaco, due to we were trying to transfer and the game didn't perm and we left because we're idiots. And we lost all that gear, left it on the ground, and game crashed. So, gonna be a little bit of a delay on the faux build. I also had a freezing pulse sorceress video that I was gonna do, so we might have to swap some stuff around. I've got a Shaco, I've got the Hodo and stuff. The only big thing that we lost really is the ARAC and the Enigma. But yeah, make sure you guys hit subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for the Ubers. Thank you so much. Peace.
I'm lagging. Guess conviction.
Come on, baby. 2020 Druid Torch. You want standard?
No.
On my way through the night, please give me some more time. I can